Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Jnanamurtim Dvandvaditam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavadhitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanam, everyone. We welcome you all to this year's Pacchai Pattini Vratham. We are in day 6 of the Pacchai Pattini Vratham, which is a global undertaking as observed by the whole of KAILASA with the blessings, guidance, and grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Pacchai Pattini Vratham is followed by Devi Parashakti, Mariamman herself, for the purpose of raising the superconscious energy of every individual and the whole of humanity. Through the past couple of days, we have been learning more and more about the Pacchai Pattini Vratham itself, about how the importance is given in mother worship, about how we can achieve completion with mother, as well as having the darshan and being a witness to the daily puja which is happening every day as a part of the Pacchai Pattini Vratham. The puja being the important aspect, the factor which is transforming, which is the reason why fasting becomes from fasting, it becomes into Vratham. We're going to be learning a little bit more about the various problems, the various issues which are there in our society, and which are things which need to be attended to, which need to be looked into. And one of these are the domestic violence, which is causing a serious issue that affects millions of people around the world. It is an issue that can affect anyone, regardless of their age, regardless of their gender or their background. Unfortunately, domestic violence can also occur in our various workplaces, not just at the home. This is an issue that is often overlooked, but it is important to understand the statistics surrounding domestic violence. Let us look at some of the main statistics on domestic violence, which are happening all across the globe in various workplaces. A majority of employees have experienced domestic violence in some form or the other. 21% of full-time employed individuals experience domestic violence, and 74% of them underwent harassment at workplaces. These statistics highlights the prevalence of domestic violence in the workplace and to the extent to which it can affect an individual's work life. It also shows the need for employers to be aware of the issues and to take steps to ensure that employees are safe and supported in the workplace. This shows that the efforts to reduce domestic violence in the workplace needs to be improved. 6.9% of females and 3% of males aged from 16 and above have experienced in some form or the other, they have experienced domestic violence. This statistic highlights the prevalence of domestic abuse in the population and on how it is being happening on the male and on the females. This is an important factor to consider when discussing domestic violence in the workplace, as it can help inform policies and procedures to ensure that employees are protected. Reports from 5 various countries showed an increase in domestic abuse from 25 to 80% during the early stages of the pandemic. 44% of American employees have experienced at least one incident or effect from domestic violence in the workplace. 1 in 5 American workers have been the victims of domestic violence in the workplace at least once in their lives. 25% of large corporations with a minimum of 1,000 employees reported at least one incident of domestic violence in the workplace within the last 12 months. 7.2 days is the amount where work-related productivity is lost every year by an employee that is experiencing domestic violence in some form or the other. 40% of people who self-identify as the victim of domestic violence say that they fear their partner will pay them an unexpected visit at work. So as you can see here, domestic violence is having various impacts on society, various impacts in the workplace in terms of how the people are feeling and how not just the work-related is getting affected, but also the damage it's doing to the inner self. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in an effort to reach and accomplish all the 17 sustained goals of the United Nations, through the revival of the authentic Hinduism in the form of KAILASA, the first Hindu nation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is teaching, sharing the importance and initiating us all into the Pacchai Vratham. The Pacchai Vratham directly connects you with Devi Parashakti and helps you to bring completion in various aspects of your life, which we're going to be going over and learning about as we enter into the segment. The Pacchai Vratham has multiple benefits of those observing the Vratham. Through the Pacchai Vratham, the science of Kaya Kalpa experientially starts manifesting in those observing the Vratham. Not only that, but the grace of Ganapati, the grace of Paramashiva, the grace of Parashakti Mariamman, as well as all the powers of Paramashiva starts manifesting through you. These are just a few of the benefits which you're going to be having as a part and of observing the Pacchai Vratham. The science of Kaya Kalpa is the science of you experiencing and living in the lifestyle of being immortal, not having a due date of when you're supposed to leave the planet Earth. The Pacchai Vratham is celebrated from the last day of the Masi month, the Tamil month Masi. From the last Sunday of the Tamil month Masi, it starts and it ends on the last Sunday of the Tamil month Fanguni. The Devi Mariamman, manifestation of Parashakti, observes the 28-day fast herself. And during this time, the Pacchai Vratham, she herself is observing the fast, and the fast she is doing for the welfare of her devotees, so that her devotees get purified, get cleansed of all the toxins, and their consciousness, their individual Kundalini Shakti gets awakened. Mahamariamman represents the self-purification of the entire Prakriti. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives a beautiful example of how the purification process of how the purification process of Prakriti directly relates and directly can be the purification process of our own being. The water element from the ocean gets purified by the fire element from the sun, transforming the water which is pulled from the oceans into clouds. These clouds again come back in showers as rain. The rain purifies the earth as well as the air, the space element. making it the ultimate purifier. Mahamari, Parashakti, is like this rain. It represents the self-purification of the entire Prakriti, of the entire nature. Fasting, doing the Vratham, is a purification process for every individual. During the period of the Vratham, every year, Mahamari, Parashakti, the embodiment of Prakriti, she herself observes the Pacchai Vratham, thereby not only purifying the entire Prakriti, but also offering us the opportunity to purify ourselves along with Devi Parashakti. The Pacchai Vratham has various health benefits and various benefits to our super consciousness as well. The Pacchai Vratham is designed to spiritually heal your physical and psychological ailments, to help clear out all your toxins and blockages from your system, to strengthen your immune system to effectively fight off diseases, relieve all your stress, all your anxiety, and all your mental tension. These are some of the immediate effects you start seeing in your body, you start seeing in your mind as a part of the Pacchai Vratham. Moreover, the Pacchai Vratham directly helps in purifying your body. It creates a space for Paramashiva and for Parashakti to manifest through you. The spiritual healing of the whole world happens when the manifestation of Paramashiva and Parashakti start, when you become a medium to manifest Paramashiva and Parashakti through your entire being. You'll also be ready, you'll also be prepared. Your system becomes prepared to receive the science of immortality, to receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti, to stay protected from all your diseases. These are just a few of the various benefits you start experiencing in your life when you follow and when you practice the Pacchai Vratham. The Pacchai Vratham is like a vacuum, is like a black hole, which sucks and absorbs all your impurities, all your samskaras, all your incompletions. And when the cleansing of your body happens, and when you start connecting with the divine, when you start connecting with Paramashiva, with Parashakti, with Swamiji, with the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, naturally, because your entire system is cleansed, they will become available. You will be able to become a medium for them to manifest through your system. Let us now learn the Puranic history, the Puranic story of Devi Mariamman, of the Samayapuram Mariamman. Out of the thousands of Mariamman temples which have been built in and around India, Samayapuram is the first stala, the first place where Mariamman is worshipped. Samayapuram also happens to be a Shakti Pita, where the eye of Devi Sati fell on the bhumi. After the self-immolation of Devi Sati, Parandama, Lord Vishnu, with his Sudarshana Chakra, cut the body of Devi Sati into 54 different pieces, which fell on different parts of the planet. Each part where a piece of the body of Devi Sati fell became a Shakti Pita, a place where Devi Parashakti is worshipped. Samayapuram in Tamil Nadu is the place where the eye of Devi Sati fell. The temple of Samayapuram Mariamman itself was built by the Vijayanagara king. The Vijayanagara king, on his journey northwards to the northern side of the country to wage war on a certain region, as he was traveling, on the way he stopped and stayed in Samayapuram. At that time, he had declared that if he wins the war, if he is successful in his voyage, he would build a beautiful temple for Devi Mariamman. With the grace and blessings of Devi Parashakti, the Vijayanagara king was victorious in the war which he had waged, and in true word to his commitment, built the temple of Samayapuram Mariamman. Devi Parashakti, Mariamman, is well known, recognized and revered, and it takes care of our practical, down-to-earth problems of her devotees. Anyone who worships her, anyone who identifies, who has Devi Mariamman as our Ishtadevata or our Kula Devata, she protects us as a mother protects her children. Devi Mariamman protects us from all problems, all the ailments, anything in our life. To protect her devotees from chickenpox and other diseases, and to keep the peace and keep the ecosystem alive, Devi Mariamman Parashakti every night personally assumes the physical form and goes around the village, ensuring that everything is in order, ensuring that the ecosystem is not disturbed. People who sleep in the temple of Devi Parashakti have heard the sounds of Devi's anklets as she makes her nightly rounds, marking her auspicious presence in the temple, in the community, in the village, in the city which she is established in. The temple of Devi Parashakti, the temple of Samayapuram Mariamman, was also visited by King Dasharatha during his rule in Ayodhya and also by King Vikramaditya during his rule in Ujjain. Let us now understand the importance of mother worship in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. In Hinduism, cosmos not only reveres but celebrates, worships the feminine consciousness, the feminine energy. Women who embody the feminine consciousness are not just revered, not just respected, but they are worshipped in Hinduism. The VedaAgamas, the Hindu tradition, not just gives equal rights to women, but they also revere, honor, and worship them. Everything worthy of worship in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, be it the rivers, the gods, the Shaktis of the Devatas, all of them are given the feminine expressive name. They're expressed in the feminine way. Female names, female expressions are given for all of these Shaktis, everything which is worthy of worship. The whole of nature, the earth itself, is called as Bhuma Devi in the Hindu tradition. In the Hindu tradition, the earth is not geography, it is biology. It is a living being and it is worshipped as female. All the rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, all the rivers other than the river of Brahmaputra, other than this one river, all the rivers in Hinduism are given the feminine names. Hindu tradition is the oldest tradition worshipping the divine in the form of woman, worshipping Devi in the female form. Hinduism has a separate sampradaya called the Sakta Sampradaya, worshipping of the feminine energy, worshipping the highest source of the universe in the form of woman, worshipping God in the form of woman is a fundamental part of the Hindu tradition. It is not just that Hinduism gives equal rights to women. That is not what Hinduism is about. Hinduism is about revering, honoring, and above all, worshipping women. Again and again, repeatedly in the VedaAgamas, it is repeated that whenever and wherever women are pleased, wherever women are worshipped, all the gods reside there with bliss and joy. In the Vedic tradition, we call this as Matra Rupena Samstitha. There is a beautiful shloka in the Chandi part, in the Chandi Parayanam, which says, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matra Rupena Samstitha Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. O Devi, who is residing in all beings, Bhuteshu, whatever exists, Sarva Bhuteshu Matra Rupena Samstitha, whatever exists in the form of ultimate creativity, who is residing, I bow down, I bow down, I bow down, I surrender. It is this amazing stotra in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, it is this amazing stotra in the Devi Mahatmyam, the Chindi part, which beautifully depicts, which beautifully describes and gives the correct narration, the correct way how Hinduism holds women in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. The essence of mother worship, the essence of worshipping the Divine Mother is mothering the cosmos inside all of us. In Hinduism, we and the divine are not separated. Rather, it is journey. Hinduism guides you, helps you to go through the journey for you to experience yourself as the ultimate divine. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself is fundamentally, basically a Shakta, a mother worshipper. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism became enlightened, had the experience of enlightenment itself through the Shakta Sampradaya, through the worship of Mother. Because we all need to understand our whole bio-memory, which we are carrying, is given to us by our mother. There are multiple levels which we carry as a part of our body, as a part of our mind-body system. The first being the muscle memory, which holds all our day-to-day habits, our day-to-day activities, things like driving, swimming, which become a part of our system, get stored in our muscle memory. The bio-memory is where our engrams, our patterns, our thought currents, our samskaras, all of this are stored in our bio-memory. And then the bioenergy goes even deeper, goes even further, which is where the superconscious energy, the God particle of Paramashiva resides in all of us. So, because our whole biomemory is given to us by our mother, the energy expression happens through the mother worship. There are many bhavas in Hinduism through which you can relate to the divine. And there is the Matru Bhava, the Pitru Bhava, the Sakala Bhava, the Dhasa Bhava. These are all the various different bhavas through which you can relate to the divine as a mother, as a father, as a friend, as a beloved, as a servant. There's so many different ways through which you can relate to the divine. But it is through the bhava of Matru Bhava, the energy expression is very quick and very strong. You may be in the body of a female or you may be in the body of a male. Your gender itself doesn't matter. But if you start mothering the cosmos inside of you, you will become the embodiment of the cosmic mother. The mother worship is a very important, very significant tradition of enlightenment. It does not belong, it is not a social law. It is these masculine parts which are always social based. The feminine part is always enlightenment based. So, whatever religion you may belong to, only when you start exploring the feminine part of that religion, the enlightenment science gets expressed, the enlightenment experience happens. Fundamentally, the first and foremost relationship in our life is mother. Everything we know, the first relationship, our idea to relate with the life, with others, starts with the mother. Those who have lived around their mother till the age of 14 are extremely blessed and extremely fortunate, because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, if you have lived with your mother till the age of 14, then you know how to connect with the divine as mother. You don't need a separate lesson. You don't need to be separately taught how to connect with the divine, because you already know how to connect with the mother. The various attitudes, the various bhavas, the various techniques, methodologies to connect with the divine, none of them can be compared to the Matru Bhava. None of them can be compared to connecting with the divine as the mother. The unique contribution to the spiritual consciousness from the Vedic tradition is the sacred feminine worship, having the sacred feminine worship as the mainstream tradition. Even if everything that the Vedic tradition gave is lost, becomes lost in some part by a tsunami, by an earthquake, for some reason, if the whole Vedic tradition gets lost, just through the worship of the mother, through the worship of the sacred feminine tradition, everything can be revived back. Everything Hinduism can offer to the world, everything the Vedic civilization has offered and contributed to the world, all of that can be revived back, because if the seed of mother worship is maintained. Mother worship is the seed of the entire Vedic tradition. All traditions which missed the sacred feminine worship, all traditions which missed adding this aspect into the sampradaya, lost its life within 100 years. And this is why the Ramakrishna mission, the mission of Ramana Maharishi, the organization, the sampradaya became successful, because they gave place, Ramakrishna mission gave place for Sharada Devi in the organization. She is the part of the main puja altar. The same way in Ramana Maharishi's tradition, the place was given for Ramana Maharishi's mother. And it is because that these aspects, because the mother worship was included as a part of their civilization, was included as a part of their tradition, the enlightenment transmission of energy can happen. Unless the place, unless the representation from mother energy for feminine energy can happen, techniques to awaken the sacred feminine, techniques to awaken the enlightenment energy in us cannot be transmitted. Mother worship is a vital part of the Vedic tradition through which the enlightenment energy manifests. Now, after understanding the importance of Vedic tradition, after understanding the importance Vedic tradition gives to the mother worship, let us now enter into the completion process, where we start completing with mother. Step by step, this program is going to help you to achieve completion with your mother, to help you to go beyond and have this space of completion. Because many problems which we are having in our life are a result of the incompletions which we generated when we were very young, when we were very small. Only by going through the completion process, only by having the science of completion as a part of our life, especially the science of completion with mother. Because when we don't have completion with mother, it is not just our relationships which get affected. One, the first and foremost relationship which we have with our mother, that becomes fractured. And because it is through our mother we learn to connect with the world, it is through our mother we learned about life. Our relationship with life becomes fractured. The body which is given to us, the body which we are using on a day-to-day basis, the relationship with our own body, our own mind becomes fractured. Because this as well has been given to us by our mother. And so many of the problems in your life, be it obesity, be it the problems which you're facing in your workplace in terms of domestic violence, if maybe you are a person who's unable to control, unable to express and relate with others in a blissful manner, in a peaceful way, in every different aspect, our fundamental problem is that because we do not have this experience of completion, we are not in completion with ourselves, because we are not able to be in completion with the mother dimension of ourselves and of our mothers. We are experiencing so many incompletions, so many problems in our day-to-day life. Even allergies are a result of our fractured relationship with our mother. Only when we establish the space of completion with our mother, only then we can establish a beautiful connection with the cosmic mother. So let us now enter into the completion process to complete with our mother, to complete with the part of mother inside us. This is going to be a step-by-step guided completion process to directly help you to achieve completion with the mother identity in you, with your own biological mother, and with the cosmic mother. So the first step of the completion process is to write down the earliest incident in your life when you felt your mother was against you or not supporting you. These will be maybe one incident or two incidences or a series of incidents. Take a few moments now, get a pen and pencil if you need to. You can type as well, but it is highly advisable whenever we do the completion process, whenever we are working actively to do completion, to raise our consciousness. It is much more effective to write these things down, write them down with your pen and pencil, rather than to narrate them, rather than to type it out and keep. Because writing down has a certain sense of groundness, certain sense brings you to your center, brings you to yourself. So please pick up a pen and a paper and take this opportunity and give yourselves this time to do the completion process. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives a very beautiful example, says a very beautiful reason why the completion process is need to be done. Give time for everybody. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed. We give time for everybody, everything, every desire, every fantasy we want to fulfill in our life, but we don't give time for the spiritual growth, for the spiritual awakening, to raise our personal consciousness, our personal self. From the morning you wake up, you give time for taking care of your body, you give time for your family, your spouse, your kids. Once you go to the office, you give time for your co-workers, for your social life, for your professional life. And once you come back home, again, you're spending a little bit more time with your family. And throughout your life, you're giving time for every single person in your team, every single person in your life. But how much time have you actually given to yourself for you to become a better person, for you to come out of the problems, of the incompletions, of the sufferings which you are going through? We'll now be entering into a simple 21-minute process to help complete the incompletions inside us, specifically the incompletions which we are having with our mother. Because when this completion happens, when we have the completion with our mother, the benefit, the effects of it, the transformation which we are going to be seeing in our life is not just in a singular dimension, but in multiple different dimensions in our life. I can actually say in every dimension of your life, you will see the completion being reflected. You will see solutions happening. You will see your life transforming in multiple different ways. And so the first step of the process is to write down the earliest incident in your life when you felt your mother was against you or not supporting you. Be as detailed as possible. The earliest moment, it would usually be before the age of 7. Because it is before the age of 7 we start developing our root patterns. All our patterns, all the root patterns of our life, which decide the way we are going to live our life, which decide and dictate the future of our lives, those patterns are formed from the age till the age of 7. And so these incidents now, which you are going to identify, which you're going to write down, try to identify the incidences when you are very young, when just the first few years of your life, when you started identifying yourself as you, when you started having self-awareness of yourself. In those times of your life, try to remember and write down the earliest incident when you felt that your mother was against you and not supporting you. Be as detailed as possible. Who was there during those incidents? What happened? And what did you feel? And what was your reaction and response towards your mother at that moment? What cognitions, what conclusions about your mother did you develop because of that incident? Take a few minutes and pen down and write the earliest incompletions. Describe the moment as it happened so many years ago. If you close your eyes, try to experience that moment as it happened. Who was present, where it happened, the time of day when this occurred, who were all present at the time, what exactly transpired, what exactly happened in the situation. And at that moment when this whole thing was going on, how did you feel about your mother? How did you feel about the whole situation? What feelings, what emotions did you have for your mother at that time? Try to be as detailed as possible, because it is in the details life happens. It is in details God is present. So try to be as detailed as possible throughout the incident. Take a few minutes now and pen down the earliest incident in your life when you felt your mother was against you and not supporting you.
I bless you all. Let you all.
Be as integrated as you can to the completion process. Don't allow any distractions. Don't allow anything to distract you from doing the process.
And manifest the powers of
If you need to close the door, please close the door. If you need to put your devices, your gadgets, anything aside, please do that as well. But please try to be as integrated to the completion process as possible. Anything which we do with intensity, only then can we expect to reap the results of it. Only when you give your complete integrated attention, your complete integrated will, persistence, completely integrated self to the completion process, or to anything in your life for that matter, only then you can be successful. Swamiji beautifully shares again and again, it is only with integrity does life happen in our life. Because without integrity, We are not even a person. We are not even someone who is consciously even available to ourselves. Forget any other person. So continue and be as integrated as you can to the completion process. Don't allow any distractions in your life. Be completely integrated and sit and write down the earliest incidents you had in your life when you felt your mother was not supporting you, was against you. Once you're done identifying the earliest incident in your life where you felt your mother was against you, where you felt your mother was not supporting you, it is now time to enter into the next step of this process, which is reliving the incident 5 times within your inner space. You can take the help of a mirror if you need to. Have a mirror and relive the 5 incidences. Relive the incident 5 times within your inner space. Relive the incident as if it is happening right now, and relive it as visualizing yourself as a child. If the experience happened when you were 5, become that 5-year-old child again. If the incident happened when you were 4 years old or when you were 3 years old, relive the incident as the 4-year-old child. If you're 6, then relive the incident as a 6-year-old child. Experience, go through the whole incident consciously. Relive the whole incident 5 times within your inner space. It is very important to understand when during the reliving process of this incident, don't remember the incident with your current logic. Don't apply any of the logic, of the reasoning, of the thought processing which you have developed now as an adult. Relive the process as you were, as it happened, as a young 5-year-old child or as a young 6-year-old child. Whatever your age would have been, whatever your age was during the time of this incident, remember and relive it at the same age. Allow all the emotions to happen inside of you as you experience them back then. If it does help, please take the help of a mirror. You can do the completion process with the mirror to help relive the incident 5 times within your inner space. Take a few minutes now and go through the incident 5 times within your inner space.
Paramashivoham
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Don't allow your mind to distract you. If you feel your mind is wandering, if you feel you're in a space, you're traveling and going through different thoughts, different emotions, different things in your life, come back, send yourself back to yourself. Bring yourself back to this awareness. Go through the incident consciously. As we mentioned earlier, don't remember the incident with the current logic, with your current reasoning and current thought process. Relive the incident as you were a 5-year-old child. Relive the incident at whatever age you had gone through the experience. Relive the incident from that age. This is an important part of the completion process for the healing to happen within you. It is because without reliving, without facing the truth as it is, we let it be bottled up. We let the pus to continue to grow and form tumors, form diseases, form problems for our body. If we simply do the completion process and allow to consciously face the reality, face the emotion, the struggle, the pain which we are facing during that young age, only then do we get relief, only then the healing starts happening. So consciously continue to relive the incident 5 times within your inner space. 5 times continuously as a 5-year-old child, at whatever age you had visualized, at whatever age you had gone through that experience. Relive the experience from that age. Continue to sincerely do the completion process. Start reliving the experience as it happened. Let us now enter into the next step of the completion process. Tell the incident to yourself in the mirror. 5 times loud and clear. Tell the incident to yourself in the mirror. Speak it as if you were telling your mother. You invoke your mother into the mirror and speak and visualize as if you were telling your mother about the completion which you are doing. Look into your own eyes in the mirror as you share the incident. We're entering into the 3rd step now of the completion process. Have a mirror with you. If you don't have a mirror available to you, then even if you can use the selfie camera of your phone or the webcam of your laptop, that is also perfectly all right. But have a way in which you can see yourself. And tell the incident to yourself in the mirror 5 times loud and clear. Speak as if you are telling your mother about the completion which you are doing. Look into your own eyes in the mirror and start sharing the experience, start sharing the incident which you went through. And make sure that you describe the incident as how you felt it as a small 5-year-old child. That is extremely important, because only when you relive, when we experience a certain pain, when we go through a certain painful experience in our life, we do not grow from that age. Only our body ages, but our mind still is a 5-year-old child, a frightened 5-year-old child who is still stuck in that same experience and not moving forward, not growing forward. So only when you go back, when you relive this experience as a 5-year-old child, or whatever age this experience happened in your life, only when that happens, only then does the completion start manifesting. Only then does the healing start happening. Only then you start growing from the age in which this experience happened. So make sure that when you're reliving this incident, when you're narrating this incident to yourself in the mirror, invoking your mother and visualizing that your mother is in the mirror or is in your selfie camera or your laptop camera, whichever way you're doing the completion process, make sure that you are still talking and relating from that space of being the young child who went through the painful experience. Let's now enter into the next step of the completion process. Now, after completing the previous step, call your mother and tell her that you want to complete with her. You can give her the context for the completion process which we are going through now. Make sure you actually feel complete for the incident, for the pain which you experienced so many years ago. Take responsibility to change your image of your mother. Don't use this time, don't use this opportunity to blame her for what happened. Don't apologize for what you might have done. Take responsibility and allow the healing of the relationship to happen. At the same time, completion does not mean that you are forgiving the other person for the incident. Whether forgiveness happens or not is not directly related to whether the completion itself is happening or not. So make sure, this is very important, that you give the context for the completion process when you're doing the completion with your mother. Make sure you actually feel complete and you want to take responsibility. You want to change your image of your mother. Don't blame her for what had happened. And you don't need to apologize as well for what you had done. Take responsibility and allow the healing of the relationship to happen. Dropping the past, dropping the incompletions. And you don't need to expect anything in return. Just decide to be complete with yourself, with your mother, and with the whole incident. Take a few more minutes now, and let's begin the last step of the completion process.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham.
This last step of the completion process is the most important part. This is where we're doing the actual completion, direct completion with your mother. Even if you haven't called or spoken to your mother for a very long time, that's perfectly alright. From personal experience, from people who have personally done the completion process, who have gone through this, many of them had told that when they had called them up, just for the context, from this context of wanting to complete, even though they hadn't been in speaking terms for many years, the completion was able to happen. The mother and whoever they were completing with had understood and also wanted the completion to happen as well. Many times in our life, we want the completion to happen, but because of our ego, because of our arrogance, we refuse to take the first step for the completion process. But 99.9% of the time, from both sides, the completion does want to happen. It is just the matter of who is taking the first step to actually make it happen. So take the first step in your relationship, take responsibility for the life of yourself and the life of the people around you, and initiate the completion process between you and your mother. The instructions, the guidance is also being projected on the screen, so you can follow the instructions as it is. Give the context for your mother of the completion process, and make sure you actually feel complete and want to take responsibility to change your image of your mother. No need to blame her for what had happened. No need to apologize for what you had done. Take responsibility and allow the healing of the relationship to happen. You don't need to expect anything in return. Just decide to be in the space of completion. Continue to do the completion process. After you've finished the completion process with your mother, we can now enter into the next step of today's program, which is having the divine darshan of Devi Parashakti, of Devi Mariamman. It is this aspect, this part of the program of the Pacchai Patni Vratham which differentiates it, which changes it from being a fasting to the Vratham. All our addictions, all the patterns, all our compulsive decision making which we take in our life does not happen out of rational thinking. It happens because of the parasites, the microbes sitting within our stomach, sitting within our gut. Modern science has termed them as the gut bacteria. And it is also scientifically proven that the bacteria in our gut directly influences the decisions which we take in our life. All our addictions, all certain patterns which we face in our life, like for example, if we are trying to go on a diet or we're trying to do a fasting, but the moment we smell the dosa, or we smell the chutney, or we smell the food of something which we really enjoy and which we really like, without thinking, we go ahead and put it inside our mouth, try to fulfill the parasites which are triggering these responses, triggering these actions in us. And it is only once the parasites, the microbes are satisfied, we come back to our rational sense of thinking, our rational sense of logic. And then we regret for the actions which we have taken. It is only through the cleansing of these toxins, cleansing of these parasites and microbes, does the actual pattern becomes redundant, but does not exist in our being anymore. But unfortunately, this cannot happen by our individual will alone. The cleansing of microbes is not something which is mind related, but it is something which is related directly with the body. These microbes, these parasites are much stronger than the conscious individual will of each one of us. And that is why intermittent fasting does not solve the problems of addiction. While you may lose a little bit of weight or you may become a little bit more energetic, it does not directly solve the problem of addictions in your life, of these compulsive decisions which you take in your day-to-day life. It is only through the Vratham which this can happen. So what is the difference between Vratham and fasting? Because in Vratham there is the divine aspect which is being invoked, which is being a part of your fasting. When we take the Vratham because of the Somavara Vrata, the auspicious day for Paramashiva, or you're observing the Vratham on the Vaikuntha Ekadashi, on the Ekadashi, which is auspicious time for worshipping Parandama, for worshipping Mahavishnu. It is only when this divine aspect, this feeling connection with the divine is added to our individual will, to our conscious will, does these parasites and microbes lose power over us. Our combined will with our feeling connection, our devotion to Paramashiva, is only powerful enough to overcome and to get rid of these parasites and microbes in our body. So it is now time for us to enter into the next segment of today's program, which is preparing ourselves to receive Devi Parashakti, preparing ourselves to receive Devi Mariamman for the puja. As a part of the puja, there is going to be a small archana, where the offering of the 108 different names of Devi will be offered. Following the archana will be the offering of the dhupa, the incense sticks, the deepa, which is the lit lamp, and also the naivedya, followed by the offering of arati. If you have the Sri Chakra yantra in your house, if you have the Mahameru, which is a 3D geometrical representation, a 3D representation of the Sri yantra, or if you have the deity, the idol of Devi Parashakti, or if you don't have any of these, just have Swamiji's photo in the Guru Paduka, that is more than enough. Guru is the direct representation of Paramashiva and Parashakti and something more put together. And so any of these deities, if you don't have any of the deities, if you just have the Guru Paduka, that is perfectly all right. Have them, clean them up and keep them ready. If you have fresh flowers available to you, please have the fresh flowers also readily available and kept with you for the puja. If you don't have fresh flowers, that is also perfectly all right. Please take and keep a little bit of kumkum. Kumkum is the processed turmeric, which is created for the purpose of wearing on our trinetra area, wearing on our third eye area, on the Agnya Chakra, and which is also very auspicious for worshipping Devi. Please have the padukas or the deity of Devi Parashakti if you do. Please take a little bit of kumkum, which can be offered as a part of the archana to Devi Parashakti. And also please get the incense sticks, the lamp, naivedyam, which is the freshly cooked food. And please make sure that the food, the naivedyam, which you're going to be offering to Devi Parashakti, is in alignment to the guidelines of the diet of the Pacchai Patni Vratham, as Devi Parashakti, Devi Mariamman is observing the Pacchai Patni Vratham. So whatever naivedyam which you're going to offer to Devi, please make sure that it is in alignment and it is according to the guidelines of the Pacchai Patni Vratham and the final offering of the Aarti itself. So once you have all the puja items arranged and ready, please make sure that you yourself are ready now by getting into the traditional attire, the traditional dress, to worship Devi Parashakti. As per the Agama, Paramashiva recommends and tells us to wear the traditional dress for the males, that will be without the upper cloth and just the dhoti and the suttu parivrittam. For the females, that would be wearing the traditional sari. So please take a few minutes. Once you have finished arranging and setting up the puja altar, setting up the worship for Devi Parashakti, you yourself can go ahead and get ready, wearing the traditional dress, applying the bhasma in all the places, and all the 16 places, and also applying the kumkum. Please take a few minutes and go ahead and get ready to worship Devi Parashakti. Once you're ready, we can enter into the meditation. Please sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your Ananda Gandha. Visualize Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, residing in your Ananda Gandha as Paramashiva Shakti, as Devi Parashakti Mariamman. We also have the photo of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the bhava and the darshan of giving the Parashakti Arulvaku. You can even use this photo also as a reference if you need to. And visualize Swamiji, visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism near Ananda Gandha as Devi Parashakti. Now, start chanting the Mahavakya mantra, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, as we get ready and enter into the meditation. Allow the mantra to reverberate throughout your entire being. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Please continue to be in this meditative space as you get ready to receive Devi Parashakti.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि परमशिवशक्तिमध्यमाम् नित्यानन्दपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्रे निटिलकृतकस्तूरीतिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधारस्फुरितकटिकौपीनवसनः दधानो दुस्तारं शिरसि फणिराजं शशिकलां प्रदीपः सर्वेषाम् अरुणगिरियोगी विजयते। ॐ सत्यै नमः। ॐ साध्व्यै नमः। ॐ भवप्रीतायै नमः। ॐ भवान्यै नमः। ॐ भवमोचन्यै नमः। ॐ आर्यायै नमः। ॐ दुर्गायै नमः। ॐ जयायै नमः। ॐ आद्यायै नमः। ॐ त्रिनेत्रायै नमः। ॐ शूलधारिण्यै नमः। ॐ पिनाकधारिण्यै नमः। ॐ चित्रायै नमः। ॐ चण्डघण्टायै नमः। ॐ महातपायै नमः। ॐ मनरूपायै नमः। ॐ बुद्ध्यै नमः। ॐ अहङ्कारायै नमः। ॐ चित्तरूपायै नमः। ॐ चितायै नमः। ॐ चित्यै नमः। ॐ सर्वमन्त्रमय्यै नमः। ॐ सत्तायै नमः। ॐ सत्यानन्दस्वरूपिण्यै नमः। ॐ अनन्तायै नमः। ॐ भाविन्यै नमः। ॐ भव्यायै नमः। ॐ भव्यायै नमः। ॐ अभव्यायै नमः। ॐ सदागत्यै नमः। ॐ शाम्भव्यै नमः। ॐ देवमात्रे नमः। ॐ चिन्तायै नमः। ॐ रत्नप्रियाय सदायै नमः। ॐ सर्वविद्यायै नमः। ॐ दक्षकन्यायै नमः। ॐ दक्षयज्ञविनाशिन्यै नमः। ॐ अपर्णायै नमः। ॐ अनेकवर्णायै नमः। ॐ पाटलायै नमः। ॐ पाटलावत्यै नमः। ॐ पट्टाम्बरपरिधानायै नमः। ॐ कलमञ्जीररञ्जिन्यै नमः। ॐ अमेयविक्रमायै नमः। ॐ क्रूरायै नमः। ॐ सुन्दरायै नमः। ॐ सुरसुन्दर्यै नमः। ॐ वनदुर्गायै नमः। ॐ मातङ्ग्यै नमः। ॐ मतङ्गमुनिपूजितायै नमः। ॐ ब्राह्म्यै नमः। ॐ माहेश्वर्यै नमः। ॐ ऐन्द्र्यै नमः। ॐ कौमार्यै नमः। ॐ वैष्णव्यै नमः। ॐ चामुण्डायै नमः। ॐ वाराह्यै नमः। ॐ लक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ पुरुषाकृत्यै नमः। ॐ विमलायै नमः। ॐ उत्कर्षिण्यै नमः। ॐ ज्ञानायै नमः। ॐ क्रियायै नमः। ॐ नित्यायै नमः। ॐ बुद्धिदायै नमः। ॐ बहुलायै नमः। ॐ बहुलप्रेमायै नमः। ॐ सर्ववाहनवाहनायै नमः। ॐ निशुम्भशुम्भहनन्यै नमः। ॐ महिषासुरमर्दिन्यै नमः। ॐ मधुकैटभहन्त्र्यै नमः। ॐ चण्डमुण्डविनाशिन्यै नमः। ॐ सर्वासुरविनाशिन्यै नमः। ॐ सर्वदानवघातिन्यै नमः। ॐ सर्वशास्त्रमय्यै नमः। ॐ सत्यायै नमः। ॐ सर्वास्त्रधारिण्यै नमः। ॐ अनेकशस्त्रहस्तायै नमः। ॐ अनेकास्त्रधारिण्यै नमः। ॐ कुमार्यै नमः। ॐ एककन्यायै नमः। ॐ कैशोर्यै नमः। ॐ युवत्यै नमः। ॐ यत्यै नमः। ॐ अप्रौढायै नमः। ॐ प्रौढायै नमः। ॐ वृद्धमात्रे नमः। ॐ बलप्रदायै नमः। ॐ महोदर्यै नमः। ॐ मुक्तकेश्यै नमः। ॐ घोररूपायै नमः। ॐ महाबलायै नमः। ॐ अग्निज्वालायै नमः। ॐ रौद्रमुख्यै नमः। ॐ कालरात्र्यै नमः। ॐ राजराजार्चिताय च श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलं कामदायिन्यै सर्वमङ्गलदात्रे नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलं परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम्। त्वं स्मृतमहं धन्य मम प्राणमहेश्वर गङ्गाधरनामेति स्तोत्रस्थानं ददाम्यहम्। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। सर्वं भगवच्छ्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवपादुकार्पणमस्तु। ॐ नित्यानन्दम्।
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda. I welcome all the viewers to this session of the power manifestation. That was such a beautiful darshan which we received from Devi Parashakti, Mariamman herself. Before we enter into the power manifestation today, all the Pacchai Patni Vratham participants who are doing Pacchai Patni Vratham, you all can also post your experiences in the social media as you're posting every day. Now, let us first see what we are going to do the power manifestation of. Today, we are going to be doing the exciting power manifestation of the remote body scanning. Today, we are going to be scanning a person who is not with us, but who is located somewhere else, away from us. When we are doing body scanning to a person who is in front of us, that is just doing the body scanning. But when we are doing the power of remote body scanning, that means we are manifesting two powers at the same time. One is body scanning itself, and the next one is remote vision. So when we manifest these two powers together, that power becomes the remote body scanning. So now let us get ready for the power manifestation. I request all the participants to call anyone that you want to manifest this power for. Anyone who you want to manifest this power for, you can call them and you can tell them that you're going to be manifesting the power of the remote body scanning for them today. In this power, you are not going to be seeing the other person. You're not going to be seeing the photo of the other person either. You are going to be scanning that person and you're going to tell them, like, you can also tell them what they are doing, like if they're in the kitchen or if they're in the office or if they're in their living room, anything that you see in your third eye, you can just reveal all of that to them. So this is, again, to remind all of you, this is two powers that we are going to be manifesting today. Till now, we have been just manifesting one power every day. Today, we are going to be manifesting two powers at the same time. One is remote vision, then the body scanning. So you're going to be scanning them remotely when they are located in some other place. So you're not going to be seeing them through a video call or anything like that. You can have just an audio call or through the messaging, you can do it. But best would be if you call them on the phone. Do not do a video call, just do an audio call. And you're going to be manifesting this power for them. So now you can call whoever you're going to do this power manifestation for. You have 5 minutes to call and get the person who you want to manifest this power for. Let us call and get them to do the power manifestation. All these amazing power manifestations and the powers that we are manifesting every day, these are all directly revealed by Paramashiva himself in the Agamas, in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Even this power manifestation which we're doing, the body scanning, is also revealed by Paramashiva himself in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. All these scriptures, which are the scriptural references, are directly given by Paramashiva himself as a science. Power manifestation is a science. So Paramashiva has given us through the Shastras, Shastra Pramana. There are 4 ways of teaching which are there in the Hinduism. One is the Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana, then which is the Sakshi Pramana. So the first, which is the Shastra Pramana, as I was saying, is directly given by Paramashiva himself. Next is the Apta Pramana, which is the time-tested sciences. Like all these power manifestations that we are doing have been time-tested by various different rishis, like the Sapta Rishis and other rishis who have lived in the past and who have time-tested all of these sciences on themselves. Then our Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the person who is initiating us, they should have tested it on themselves and manifested these powers and made use of these sciences on their own self. And only then they can teach the science to the whole world, to their disciples and everyone else, and give that to them as their experience through the Sakshi Pramana. So let us first see the Shastra Pramana for the body scanning. The Shastra Pramana is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 54 and Dharana 31. Swadehe jagato vapi sukshma sukshma tarani cha tattvani yani nilayam dhyatvante vyajyate para. The translation goes, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body, which is the Swadeha, or of the whole universe, simultaneously consists of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in their source cause, which is the Sadashiva. By the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, which is the Paradevi, Adi Shakti, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation then starts manifesting. So that was such a beautiful pramana that we heard from Paramashiva himself. Now, let us get ready to do the power manifestation. We have 1 more minute to get ready. And when we are doing this power manifestation, before you start itself, you should tell the participant who you want to manifest this for, who you are manifesting this for. They should have written down all of the problems that they are facing in their body. You can ask them anything that they are facing at that moment, at this moment, any problem that the other person is facing. You can ask them to write down those problems, whatever they're facing. You can ask them to write that down. And also you can ask them to write down what they're doing at this moment. If they're like in their working place, you can tell them to write that as well. You can write, but they should not be revealing any of this to you. You are going to be scanning this, and Swamiji is going to be revealing these to you. And once you do the power manifestation, you're going to be showing this. You're going to be revealing this to the other person who you are manifesting this power for. Now, let us get ready to do the power manifestation. Be seated. While you're doing the power manifestation, you should be seated on the ground or on a chair. Any way you're comfortable, but just make sure that you are seated. Whoever you're manifesting the power for, you can keep them on call, or you do not need to keep them on call. You can again call them back once you finish the power manifestation. Sit straight, keep your eyes closed. Visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, in your third eye. If you can sit in Padmasana, sit in Padmasana, or sit in any comfortable position. Chant the Mahavakya in your throat center or aloud. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now, you can request the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, in your third eye. You can just tell Swamiji, just request Swamiji, Swamiji, please show me the other person. You will be able to see that the other person actually. Swamiji will be showing everything to you. You will be able to actually see the other person who you are manifesting this power for. You'll be able to see what they're doing, or you will be able to see where they are as well. Because this power is two powers together, the body scanning and also the remote vision. You're going to be scanning that person and doing the body scanning as well after doing the remote vision. Request Swamiji to show you everything. Swamiji, please show me what the other person is doing, and also any problem that the other person is facing with their body, any problem that the other person is having with respect to their body. Request Swamiji to show that as well. And everything that you see, everything that Swamiji is showing to you, is revealing to you, you can write that down in your paper. You can just write everything down and keep it. You have 5 minutes to do the power manifestation. Sit straight. Continuously, intensely chant the Mahavakya in your throat center. And continuously remember Swamiji in your third eye, any form of Swamiji that you connected with, that you saw and felt the ultimate state of bliss, established yourself in the space of oneness. And also we have received the darshan and the grace of Devi Parashakti as well. So in this space, we are going to be manifesting these powers now. So continuously just chant the Mahavakya, visualizing Swamiji in your third eye, and keep writing whatever you see in your third eye. Continuously chant the Mahavakya and write down everything that is being revealed to you. Make sure that you are sitting straight. We have 3 more minutes to do the power manifestation. So intensely chant the Mahavakya while you're doing the power manifestation. Chanting the Mahavakya is continuously invoking Swamiji in your own body and manifesting yourself as Paramashiva. So make sure that you're continuously repeating the Mahavakya in your throat center.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
You have 1 more minute to do the power manifestation. So make sure that you're writing down every single detail that you are seeing. You can write down what color the dress that person is wearing, the other person who you're scanning for. Anything that Swamiji is showing, including all of these, you can write what color dress the other person is wearing, and like where they're sitting, where they are doing, what they're doing, anything. You can describe as many details as you see. And also you can request Swamiji for all of these details. You can request Swamiji to show all of these details to you. Everything that you see, make sure that you're writing down. Now, you're moving on to the next step of the power manifestation. You are going to be now revealing whatever you saw, whatever Swamiji revealed to you. You're going to be revealing that to the other person who you scanned for. Now, you can call them back if you are not on a call, and you can start revealing to them everything that you saw. You can also go on a video call and ask the other person to show around them if you have seen any of the details of what is in their surroundings or what color dress the other person is wearing. You can ask them to show all of that, and you can start revealing to the other person whatever you saw. Make sure to reveal everything. Do not have any self-doubt that this is something that person might have or not have. And also with related to the body scanning itself, the main power is the body scanning and also the remote vision. So everything that you saw about that person with respect to their body when you're doing the body scanning, even if you saw any solutions that this is what this person has to follow, you can write those solutions also. You can reveal that as well to them, because that is directly revealed by Swamiji, and that will do intense healing for the other person when they follow that. If Swamiji revealed any solution to you, make sure that you're revealing those as well to them. And now you can continue to share what you saw in your third eye, what Swamiji showed to you. You can share it to the other person. And also, you can do the social media sharing now. We have a few minutes to do the sharing on the social media as well. Now we can go to the Facebook, and also you can take photos of you doing the power manifestation. Make sure that every day whoever are coming to the power manifestation session, that you are taking your own photos and doing the power while doing the power manifestation, you're taking your photos and you're posting that on the social media. And when you're posting that photos or your videos, you can also take videos and share your experiences through the videos. You can share even the Pacchai Pattini Vratham participants, whoever are doing the Pacchai Pattini Vratham. You can share your experience. It's been so many days since you've started the Pacchai Pattini Vratham. You can share your experience with the Pacchai Pattini Vratham itself, what kind of beautiful breakthroughs you are having in your life during the Pacchai Pattini Vratham. And also, if you're not doing the Pacchai Pattini Vratham, if you're only here for the power manifestation, you can also share your experience about the power manifestation. So for all of you, whoever are doing the sharing right now, you can use the hashtag of PPV, which is the Pacchai Pattini Vratham. You can use the hashtag Nithyananda, hashtag KAILASA, hashtag power manifestation. You can use these hashtags to do your posting on the social media. And also you can tag the Facebook page of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can tag SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Facebook page when you're doing the sharing on the Facebook. You can use all of these hashtags and also tag the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the Facebook when you're doing the sharing. Now you can continue to do the sharing. We have a few more minutes before we enter into the next session.
every day so many people are sharing so many different experiences that they're having in their life during the power manifestation and the Pacchai Pattini Vratham. It's so beautiful to see all of you having so many different experiences and manifesting Swamiji in all of your lives. So anyone you can call, you can invite them to the everyday session that's happening for the 28 days duration of the Pacchai Pattini Vratham till the 8th of the next month, which is April. The Pacchai Pattini Vratham is going to go on till then. And we're going to be doing various different power manifestations over these days. So you can invite anybody who you want from your family or your friend or anyone to manifest these powers in their life. They can come have the darshan of Devi Parashakti and also do the power manifestation, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving us all the opportunity to do the. And also make sure that you're sharing you're expressing your gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to give us all this experience, for giving us all this experience and the opportunity to have this experience during this time. You can share and express your gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through the Facebook. In a few minutes, we are going to move on to the next segment of today's session. We have 1 more minute to post our experiences, and we are going to be moving on to the next segment, where we are going to be seeing the exciting things next. There are more upcoming exciting things that we are going to see, so make sure that you are staying tuned. So now, with this, we are coming to the end of the power manifestation session today. Stay tuned. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Nithyananda, now that we have had the darshan of the Parashakti and the grace and blessings, with the grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, have manifested the superconscious powers of Paramashiva, we're now going to be entering into the next segment of today's program. Earlier today, we went through the science behind Vrathams and how Vrathams work in our life. Like Vrathams, there are so many other kriyas, so many other aspects of Hinduism, of Hindu practices, which are based on the highly advanced sciences that are yet to be discovered and revived in the modern day. At the moment, right now, all the best things which are available in the planet Earth are the gifts of the Himalayas to the civilization, gifts given by Paramashiva to all of us. Whether it is the great spiritual enlightenment philosophy, the unimaginable, amazing Saraswati civilization, and the metaphysical discoveries of the rishis, the science of yoga, astrology, astronomy, vastu, gemology, whatnot. Anything worthy in the planet Earth is from the Himalayas. It is the Himalayas which gave birth to the science of ahimsa, the science of coexistence, living with each other. It is the Himalayas which gave birth to all the great sciences available to human beings today. Ganga still gives food, feeds 1/10 of the world population. 10% of the world population lives in the lap of Mother Ganga. This statistics is given directly by BBC's documentary on the Ganges. Even now, 10% of the world population just lives on the one river of the river Ganga, which is because of the Himalayas, which the Himalayas is responsible for. Ganga, the Ganges, is responsible for the rishis to have so much of free time and to contemplate and come up with the great metaphysical discoveries. All the basic needs were fulfilled, and just like that, the grand Himalayas in the front, what will they do? We will go on being awestruck, being wonderstruck. Our logic gets slapped every time by the unimaginable expression of the cosmos. So naturally, we start diving into the mysteries of the cosmos. The geographical place where a region originates plays a major role in the depth and purity of the religion. Himalayas cannot be ruled by any social political laws. That is why the Upanishads and the Vedic tradition is completely devoid of any social political roles. There is no social political part of the Upanishads. This is just pure spiritual science, pure metaphysical discoveries. That's it. When we say the VedaAgamas, when we talk about the source scriptures of Hinduism, what comes to our mind? What is the immediate visualization which we have? The general sense about the source scriptures is that of religious and spiritual sense. Our immediate associations and visualizations take us to the Upanishad chantings of the Veda Pathshalas, takes us to the ritualistic procedures of the various pujas and homas. For those of us who have studied the Shastras a little bit more, we remember the Advaitic philosophies and teachings from what we have read and understood. Very rarely, the scientific aspect, the scientific dimension of the Vedas and Agamas is being recognized. There are numerous revelations, numerous scientific discoveries and truths which are revealed in the source scriptures, but they are not recognized to their full potential. The Vedas were not authored by any individual or by a group of individuals. They were only recorded and organized by these individuals. The sages and rishis of Sanatana Hindu Dharma only recorded what was revealed to them by Paramashiva. They only acted as the medium for these great truths to be revealed to the world. After receiving the source science, revealing the cosmic truths as it is, the rishis experimented with the science and made it their own personal experience. It is only after that that they began teaching the science to the world. Everything needed for society to function, be it in the level of their personal life, as a community, as a village, as a city, or even as a nation. For everything, Paramashiva has revealed the structure, the science, and the methodology. He has given the manual for running the human civilization. With the science and guidance of how to sustain the society, Paramashiva also reveals the greater science behind it. How architecture, the constructions of buildings should happen. How for each disease and ailment, what kind of medicine should be used. The science of plastic surgery, the science of transportation, the depth which is there in the field of mathematics, physics, chemistry, and alchemy, the science of cosmology, of astrology, and palmistry. Hinduism has all these sciences, has all these discoveries. Everything which already exists has been revealed and lived as a part of the Vedic civilization. Whether it is to calculate the size of the well which needs to be dug for a village or for a house, or to calculate the distance between the earth and the sun. for everything Paramashiva has given, which has been documented by our rishis. Much before the theories of gravity, of energy, the theory of the solar system, all of this existed and was lived in the practical day-to-day life, was known by every single individual, every single Hindu, much before the Europeans pushed their version of history onto us, onto the mainstream education of the world. After the integration of the current history and science theories into the education system, which was pushed and forced onto us, the narrative of the Europeans, the effort to maintain the currently established narrative and not to embrace and recognize any other narrative and scientific discovery is immense. Many of you may not have heard or have been aware of the first flight which happened many, many years before the Wright brothers. This flight took place after the British colonization and was built on the principles and instructions given in the Vaimanika Shastra, compiled by Rishi Bharadwaja. This happened decades before the Wright brothers came up with their first flight. The demonstration which took place in Maharashtra was witnessed by the Maharaja of the region, and the plane not only took off but flew for a number of kilometers before landing back on the ground as well. But unfortunately, soon after the live demonstration, the inventor, the aircraft, and the inventor's family, all of them went missing and was never seen of, never heard of since. Much before this incident, much before this live demonstration of the first flight, during the Mughal invasions, millions upon millions of pages of scriptures and books were burned for months on end. The source scriptures of Hinduism were gone, were not available to us anymore, were burnt up. Those who possessed the knowledge, who had memorized and possessed all this knowledge in their memory, were killed and destroyed. This is a systematic effort to discredit, to delegitimize the source scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which has been going on for centuries. The language of Sanskrit is studied in many universities and schools around the world, and for the sake of studying and understanding the source scriptures of Vedic civilizations. All of these other parts of the world understood the importance of Sanskrit, something which Hindus are not understanding and are not realizing. Yoga is a perfect example of this. There is not one or two, but multiple references of yoga are there, which are from the Agamas, revealed by Paramashiva and also by Patanjali in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. But how many times have you seen the yoga which is being taught in the West being attributed back to Hinduism, where the credit is being given back to the Vedic civilization? Without the source and credit being attributed back to Hinduism, yoga in the West is taking a completely different direction, which is doing more harm and damage to society than it is doing good. Yoga has become a billion-dollar industry in the West, but out of the thousands and thousands of yoga institutes, none of them are attributed back to Hinduism. This is not just a matter of recognition. This is dangerous, because by not practicing, by not living the science as per the authentic source scriptures, you are inviting the dangerous side effects and problems as a result of practicing half-baked knowledge. The recent Nobel Prizes, which have been awarded to the physicists for discovering and proving that the universe is not real, has been declared in the scriptures, being declared in the Vedas and Agamas from many, many thousands of years back. This was declared in the Vedas and Agamas. But just because now only the physicists are proving this and it is coming from a Western standpoint, the recognition is being given there. This is not just a matter of recognition, as I had mentioned before. Though this is public knowledge, it is not being considered as a science. Rather, it is being dubbed as pseudoscience, which is preventing the VedaAgamic scriptures from being recognized inside the scientific community. There is a bias, a deep state element, a work of force, which is actively preventing the source scriptures of Hinduism to be given the front stage, to be recognized and respected within the scientific community as something which can further our understanding about ourselves and about the world around us. By being dubbed as biased Westerners, by being dubbed by biased Westerners as pseudoscience. This is a part of the calculated, strategic genocide which is taking place on Hinduism. The most unfortunate part of this whole affair is that Hindus are completely ignorant, completely blind, and sometimes refuse altogether to look at the slow poison which is being inflicted on Hindus and the Hindu tradition. The beauty of the source scriptures, which reveals all these great truths, is that they have a practical application of the science in their day-to-day lives, in the day-to-day lives of the common men, something which does not exist in the research and papers published by a majority of the mainstream scientific community. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has beautifully expanded on the source scriptures of Surya Vedanta, explaining on how the weak and strong nuclear force of the sun can, through different ways, become a part of us, can be invoked in us through kriyas like the Surya Namaskar. Practicing of the Surya Namaskar directly invokes the nuclear force of the sun within our beings. Earlier in the segment, we spoke and described the truth given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on how the purification of the Prakriti, which describes the cycle of rain, can be directly practiced in our life through the Pacchai Patni Vratham. Each scientific principle, each scientific truth in the Vedic tradition can be mapped back to evolve and raise the consciousness of every individual. This is the greatness. This is something which is missed in the modern scientific community. While the discoveries and the studies which is being made to further our understanding about ourselves and the world around us, it does very little to the enrichment of our daily lives of the common man. And so, in this fundamental truth, the fundamental reality today, we need to understand that the Hindu scriptures are not just a spiritual and religious text, but also contains the greater science of the cosmic truths, of the cosmic principles. And for every aspect of human life, the guidance, the way of life, has already been revealed by Paramashivam and has been lived in the ancient Vedic civilization. Hinduism right now at this very moment is being digested by the West, by all those consuming and not giving back credit to the source, not giving back credit to the source scriptures, and encouraging the practice of a half-baked lifestyle, which is a direct threat to the lives of those practicing the half-baked lifestyle of Hinduism. Above all, Hinduism is being declared as pseudoscience by the mainstream scientific community, preventing Hinduism from being recognized in the same stature of other scientific papers and researchers. We need to bring scientific legitimacy to the source scriptures of Hinduism. And so, after having now understood about the slow poison, the slow genocide which is going on, which is happening to the source scriptures of Hinduism, we need to decide how we want to protect the Hindu scriptures. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the democracy which exists is a responsible democracy. Those who are educated, who have studied, and who know the field, they come together and vote on the relevant topics, relevant fields they are experts about. Not anyone and everyone can vote on everything. And that is why every issue which Hindu society is facing, which the Hindu community is facing, it should be brought to the stage and should be addressed through the Hindu votes. KAILASA is the first Hindu nation created by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, created by Hindus for Hindus. To become a part of the Hindu votes, all you need to do is to become an e-citizen of KAILASA. You can participate in the Hindu votes, where you can actively be a part of the major decision making, which decides the future of the lives which we are going to live. The decisions and votes we make now will have a direct impact of not only our lives and all the current citizens of KAILASA, but for generations to come. We live in a very important historic period, where we have the chance to be an active part and functioning and governance of KAILASA, which will be setting the trend, the standard, and all laws for posterity. By participating now in the Hindu votes, you will become an active part of the revival of the Hindu nation. And so, based on the information being presented on the scientific aspect of the VedaAgamas as the source of the advanced mathematics required for the most discoveries in modern science, by also providing the elaborate understanding in physics, astronomy, astrology, chemistry, physics, metallurgy, geology, biology, psychology, all these deeper sciences of the inner world, which modern day science has yet to catch up to. Based on all this, today's Hindu votes, do you want the teachings of the VedaAgamas to become the core principles of school textbooks as legitimate science? To make this vote and to become a part of the Hindu votes, to cast your vote and decide the future of the Hindu community, all you need to do is head over to Twitter and visit the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's official Twitter handle, which is at Sri Nithyananda. If you go there, you will be able to see the poll which is being casted, and you can cast your vote as to whether you think the teachings of the VedaAgama principles should become the core principles of school textbooks as legitimate science. You can vote either yes, no, or you can also ask for more information. So please take a few moments now and head over to the Twitter and cast your vote as to what should be the education principles for our society. And so with this, we come to the end of today's segment. We'll be looking out for your vote, which you're going to be casting in the Twitter, and going to be seeing the discussions and the debates which are going to be happening there. So now please head over to Twitter and cast your Hindu vote. And so now with this, I would like to sincerely thank all of you for coming and being a part of today's segment of learning and about the Pacchai Pattini Vratham, about the importance of mother worship in Hinduism, going through the completion process so that you achieve the completion with your mother and connect to the divine and experience the Matra Bhava with the divine cosmic mother. And also for understanding how Hinduism is being misrepresented, how the systematic genocide of Hinduism is happening, how it is only through legitimizing the VedaAgamas does the standard of society raises exponentially. And the correct knowledge, we come out of the Macaulay style of education, and the true education is given to our next generation. So now with this, again, we'd like to sincerely thank all of you and welcome all of you to come again tomorrow for tomorrow's program and to participate in the Hindu votes for tomorrow as well. And so now with this, we'll end with the Puna Mantra. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukar Pranamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Nithyanandam.